So, today I'm going to talk to you about what self-improvement habits that you actually need in your life and which ones might be able to take out of your life. Because if you're like me, you have a big goal in mind and you're starting to realize that your whole life shouldn't just be based around these routines, like the self-improvement routines. And it's a realization I had, pretty recently. So I've kind of learned what self-improvement habits that I really need and which ones I can kind of start trimming up a bit and then focusing on my bigger goal. So that's what I hope to help you out with today. If you're kind of wondering, like, how much should I focus on self-improvement? How much should I focus on business? So if you have those questions, that's what I hope to help you out with. Before we begin, I actually just started a new free school community, and it's a place where you can learn a little bit more about how to manage your time and learn how to channel that into entrepreneurship or purposeful work. And yeah, it's a free community. I'm having live calls pretty much every day, and there's a couple members in there now. So make sure to click that link in the description, and it could be pretty cool. So, yeah, this was actually a struggle I recently went through, which was how much should I be focusing on like purpose and self-improvement and like doing the inner work and that stuff, and how much should I be focusing on business? What's more important, like the money, or is it the health? Is it the going to the gym? Is it sleeping? So I kind of figured out like the best system for me. And when I first got onto self-improvement, this was about a couple years ago. I think in 2021, that's when I first started, and I was hooked. Like that's when I started learning about things like how to quit porn and how to start going to the gym, how to start eating healthier. So I really got dialed in on my health, and I really got dialed in on like masculinity, confidence, that type of stuff. And that was where my mind was fully at. And then I'd say about a year ago, maybe a little bit even more than a year ago, I started learning about business because, this 3-year process, I start to learn that there's more and more things that you can like add on, more challenges that you can add on to your life. And it was about a year and a half ago where I learned business was that next challenge. And so, like, I was learning about business, and I started to realize that this is something that you kind of have to go all in on. Business, it's not just something that you try out or just like do on the side. Like, business is something that you really commit to. So there's a period where I was like, how much time do I need to be spending on these self-improvement routines if I want to work on business? And I was like, how am I supposed to work on business when I'm like meditating for an hour a day? How am I supposed to work on business when I'm journaling? When I'm supposed to socialize with people? How am I supposed to work on business when I have to work out every day? So it felt like I had no time. I just didn't see how I would have time to work on the business. And the more I like started learning about business I started realizing that there was a little bit of time. I started realizing that maybe I don't need all of these self-improvement routines. Maybe I can sort of start to trim up the self-improvement routines to the things that are actually essential. And so that's what I did. I kind of got to a point where I was able to work out. I was able to eat healthy still and cook my food fresh. And I did like the journaling, just a little bit of that, and the reading and the meditating. And I was still able to have like 1 or 2 hours in the day, even with my full-time job, to work on the business. So it was possible. I was able to carve out time for it, but in the beginning, it didn't feel possible. And during that process, I was still asking like, should I be focused more on self-improvement? Should I be focused more on my mental health? Or should I like focus more on business? What's more important? So if you're wondering that yourself, like what habits do you really need and which ones can you get rid of? I have sort of like a little bit of a process for you that might be able to help out. So the first thing is if you're currently like struggling and you feel like you need to make changes as far as like health, as far as your diet, as far as like being consistent, then I would say instead of you focusing on your big goal right now, it might actually be smarter to go all in on the self-improvement, go all in on like actually developing yourself. I know it might sound scary. It's like, wait, shouldn't I be focusing on this big goal? But it might actually be a smart move to go all in on the self-improvement and really learn how to like manage your health, really manage your like relationships, social skills, really learn how to like get better as a person. And then from there, then you can sort of start to trim back like the routines that you developed. So what I what I came, like discovered was that there's non-negotiable routines that I need, which are going to the gym, some type of journaling, even if it's like 5 minutes, some type of meditating, even if it's just like 5 minutes, detached from everything, sleeping 8 hours a night, and eating healthy, like being able to cook my meals. Because if I'm going out and buying the food, then it's probably not as good, and the ingredients are probably not as good. So these things do take up time, but they still leave me with some time to work on my big goal. So for you, I would say if you aren't currently like in the process of discovering the routines that are working for you, and you aren't in the process of like self-improvement, self-development, then maybe go that route first and really go all in on that. And then from there, then you want to kind of start to trim back. You might start to realize like, do I really need the hour of meditation every day? Do I really need the like going to the mirror in the morning and giving myself like 5,000 affirmations that I'm perfect. Like it could get a little crazy and out of hand, but that's when it's time to start like dialing back and seeing like what's essential. And once you get to the essential habits that are needed for you, then you're kind of at like a place where you can do the essential self-improvement habits and you can be in a pretty good like brain state and like mental state. And then you'd be surprised at when you try actually working on the real goal you want to work on, if it's business or if it's getting promoted in your job, whatever it is, whatever the big goal is, you'd be surprised at how much easier and more capable you are to actually go for that goal. So I know it sounds like I'm telling you, oh, don't go for this goal until you start doing like the self-improvement stuff. But I'm giving this advice because I think it's worth it to really focus on your health more, focus on your sleep, focus on the essential stuff, and then like get it down to a T, trim back to what is essential, and then you'd be surprised that when you're working on this goal, the quality is going to be way better and it's going to become easier to work on this goal. So hopefully this makes sense. That's sort of the process that I went on. I had a period where I was all in on self-improvement. I was just focused on health. I was just focused on becoming the best version of myself. I was just focused on learning. I was just focused on like the reading, the meditating, the journaling, the like detachment from everything. And it took up a lot of my time. So then I had a big goal that I knew I wanted to go to next, which was business. And then I started trimming down the things that would help me go for this goal. So that's a process that really helped me. And yeah, like I said, if you're currently not like you don't really have any routines or you don't have any self-improvement routines, then I would say it might be worth it to actually, before you go for this big goal, focus on focus on like the health and the sleep and the diet and the exercise. And then you'll find it will be easier to go for this big goal. But again, don't get too carried away with like all these routines. So hopefully this makes sense. If you have any like questions or you feel like you've been like on your self-improvement routine, then comment in the comments below. Let me know how it's going for you. And yeah, again, check out that link in the description and hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.